Hello to you. It's week 40. It's the 17th of September. And as you can see, I found another magnificent location here in Africa. We're actually out in the game reserve. It's the West Coast National Game Reserve. You can see behind me here, we got Langebaan. We came out to see the flowers. A little bit of a disappointment because apparently they've all died. And the flowers were here if we'd been here 2 weeks ago. But anyway, take a look at this view. If we just pan around, if you can take a look and see what we actually got here. You can see just looking up all the way up the mountain, and there you can see a couple of the flowers. It really is quite magnificent as you look all the way back around to Langebaan. Look at the beautiful colors in the lagoon. It's just, for me, it's such an amazing place where we live in Africa here with all the magnificent scenery, and we're literally an hour from Cape Town up in the Langebaan Reserve. So that's me just panning around and showing you a little bit of where we are. But what did I learn this week? Because I've got some very valuable lessons. Well, the first one is I flew all the way to Johannesburg. A gentleman by the name of Roger James Hamilton. Go and check him out, rogerjameshamilton.com. He's one of the forefront leaders. I believe in the world there's probably 50, probably not even that many, probably 20 of the top speakers in the world. And the guys that really just are completely intuitive, know what's happening, where the world is going. And he was out here in South Africa doing a road trip, and myself and my colleague Hannes both got invited to be change makers, to sit there and to discuss. But I tell you, it was one of the most amazing days of my life where I sat with this gentleman and I just learned, and what he was looking at was 10 trends of where the world is going. You know, they say in life it's so much easier to predict the future and to be successful if you look at long-term trends and if you understand where the world is going. Now, he had 10 different trends, and I'm not going to go into all of the trends now, but you know, I love technology. I've got a master's in IT, and I never thought that I was going to be shown up when it came to technology. He was talking about things like artificial intelligence, which we all know about. He was talking about how we need to get rid of any barriers to entry for clients, including making them pay, how you've got to give a lot more stuff for free, how, you know, literally the world's wealth is now becoming global. They're just some of the ones that come to mind, but the one that just blew me away was how they're going into 3D printing, and they can now print a heart. You're missing your heart, they can print you a heart and put it in your body. You want a house, they can actually physically print a house. Now, I'll be honest with you, I still got to get my head around that, but he spoke about space and where it's going. And then the thing that I really enjoyed is he brought it all down to energy, and he brought it down to principles that the Chinese actually came up with 5,000 years ago. As you know, I've been on a path with my wife about kinesiology since about July last year, and it's just incredible how it's all coming together. How there's different levels. Hannes also teaches that there's different levels in both wealth and business, and depending on what level you're at, what it is that you need to do, what it is that you need to implement. Absolutely fascinating as you can check it. So go and check out the website wealthdynamics.com. You can understand your profile. You can understand, based on your profile, what you should and shouldn't be doing. Two things I found absolutely fascinating. I'm a creator. I love to create things, but I'm not a good MD. I shouldn't be a managing director. And it was very interesting that even if you founded a business, you must realize you shouldn't do it. Another thing is I shouldn't hire people. You know, my job is not to go out and recruit and hire people. It's not my skill set. I must just focus on creating stuff. Just like the Richard Bransons of this world, the Walt Disneys, they go out and they create products. They have teams that come behind them and build those businesses. So, a bit of a note to self as to what I should be doing there. The second thing is persistence. Now, it's a classic story. When I got the rights to do the Tony Robbins products over a year ago now, I sent out Chet Holmes's book and his sales book to some of the top CEOs in the country, about 20 of them. And you know, a lot of them haven't bought the system from me, but I've followed up with them consistently. I've emailed them, I've given them value, I've texted them, I've phoned their two RCs. And a classic example was in Johannesburg this week on Tuesday. Two of the companies that I've been constantly touching base with, adding value to, phoning them on, dealing with the CEOs, phoning them directly on their mobile. And ironically, on Tuesday morning I sat with them, and two companies in the space of 3 hours basically told me, right at the moment, what we need is we need motivation, we need training in terms of skills for our sales team. And I said, well guys, I've been trying to communicate with you for the last year, but that's exactly what I do. Look at the feedback that we're getting, look at the results we're getting for other people. So it was a classic example of how persistence actually pays off. Another example of persistence, I've had a long-standing relationship with private property. I know the owner, Justin, very well. Fantastic company, thinking out the box, thinks laterally, provides provides a huge amount of value. I've been working with them because I believe what I'm doing and what they're doing can provide a huge amount of synergy. And on Wednesday we actually agreed that Private Property are going to provide a huge amount of value to all their agents and let them know about the Double Your Sales course that we're doing. And a bit of that creative brain of mine, we came up with a slogan right there and then: Private Property, it's all about results. So it's really awesome because they're now endorsing the W Sales. If anyone comes on the course and they're a Private Property member already, anything that they spend with regards to their training, they will get back free in terms of marketing. And if you're not with Private Property, then you too will be able to get your first month for free. So it's completely win-win. And my wife keeps saying to me, it just sounds too good to be true. But I think it's new age. It's new businesses looking at constantly adding value to their clients, because they know the more value that they add, the better that feeling will be. And ultimately, as I've spoken so many times before, you'll turn them into raving fans. The third thing was company culture. I spent an entire day in a company dealing with all the different departments. It's a company with massive opportunity, but I just feel it's like a spring and something's holding it back. My intuition tells me that even though we've done a lot of the training, something is holding them back. And when I sat with everyone and understood what was happening, where the pain points were, where the bottlenecks were, you could understand that there was a challenge with regards to the company culture. And they've reached that defining moment now where they need to either break through to the other side, or if they do not make definitive steps now, it's going to have a massive impact on their future. And for me, it's a classic example of Zappos and what Tony Hsieh did with Zappos. I'll be sitting with their CEO doing a full report based on my analysis, giving him that feedback. But I honestly believe if they want to be the best developer in this country and globally, they're going to have to fix that company culture so that they can release that machine that they've got and get those results. The fourth one for me was coaching. I spent some time with Roger Hamilton this week and just looked at the coaching process and how he does it. There were some other members involved in it, and it was really valuable for me. I learned a hell of a lot, but it also made me realize, as an entrepreneur, you often don't pat yourself on the back. You often don't realize how far you've come and how you've progressed. And I sat with my wife Kelly today and I said, I was really blessed to be part of that experience, because I realized how far we've actually come. And it's interesting watching other entrepreneurs and the mistakes they're making and the advice that he gives. And it's a real pat on the back to know that you're already doing a lot of that stuff. And it certainly gives me a good feeling knowing that we're going in the right direction. And then lastly, the last lesson, as you know, I'm determined to try and relax, to spend time with my wife, to show her the beauty in Cape Town and get her to understand that this is such a magnificent place. So here we are in Langebaan. She's very kindly helping me make this video. She's smiling at me. But we're here, we left at lunchtime. We've driven up here to Langebaan. We're going further up the coast just to come and have a weekend away. As you can see, it's a magnificent day here in Cape Town. So just enjoying the environment, enjoying where we live. But that's all from us this week. Hopefully it's inspired you. Hopefully you've learned some lessons. Tell some other people about it. Come along to the W Sales course if you want to. But there's so much else that you can do. Most importantly, live your life. Live the dream, because it is possible. Cheers.